Slowly with...
Sing along.
Of it, so I listened to some more.
I listened to it once.
Right, and that's
I will fully admit I listened to it once.
take it prepared. That's okay. We're gonna do this.
Yeah.
Alright, so first impressions. You have one listen choice.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of.
She broke my arms. Like a winter flight. What?
Sure.
Yeah, baby.
Hey, on my list, if you look at my list in the chat, it's at the top.
Shooting for third.
On the top. Anyway.
So,
that
3
is
hours into it, and we've finally covered the listening part. Now, how about the reading part?
Yes.
I wrote over all my songs while you guys were talking about fucking what's its fucks.
Becoming
yeah,
what's this fucks.
La
Yeah.
Dispute.
Okay.
Yeah, fair enough.
Apologies, I am so fucking fried.
It's okay.
So, Dominic, how many songs did you end up writing?
So aside from the one that I shared with you all, I believe I have 5 more.
Okay. Mine was, in the end, I was shooting 5 or 6 in total. I ended up with 4. I think I have 4. I have 3 quality.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not, this is an experiment for me, so I'm not ashamed of them yet.
we are.
So that's nice.
We are going to be fully ranking all of our lyrics here, and we're going to be determining a top 3, and the winner will get absolutely nothing but the glory.
Sure.
And isn't that what it's all about?
Yeah.
We're really pushing our limits here. I'll tell you that.
Now, where do we want to start with this? Trix, you're still writing yours. Dominic, I think you need to just share.
I will share one.
Mine are already written out. I just have to put them in the chat.
Remember to put them into the DM so we do not spoil it for next week.
Yeah, I gotta get that symbol though. It's not on my keyboard.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm just trying to figure out. We're just saying this? We're not singing this, please.
Yeah, we are just saying this. Do not worry. Whilst I did write mine with tunes in mind as I'm writing it, except for the first one, I'm on like.
Okay, so for the one that I am posting now, it's called C Cut. I am sort of thinking of more of a darker, a little more horror-y, but still kind of indie singer-songwriter type thing, I guess I can say.
Fair enough.
Let me just edit that so it says C Cut as well.
I am just making it easier for me to type shit.
So do you want to just to speak it out, Dominic, what the lyrics you've written here are?
Sure, I can. I mean, do you want to do it?
Yeah. Tell you what, let's
have other people do it.
Yeah. Let's nominate someone else in this case. In this case, I think you're nominating me.
Yeah.
But for everyone who does one of those, we'll nominate one of the other two.
Okay, that sounds
so
fair.
This one is called C Cut,
yes.
which is I thought for a second there was SEACUT, but it's C as in a letter. So I'll ask all questions, and I think when we do this, all questions that we asked about the lyrics, we do after. But if we have reactions like "Oh, I like that" or blah blah blah, we can say those live. I think that's a fair thing to do.
Sure.
Yeah. Ignore the one I just posted. Sorry.
No. All right. So this is C Cut by Dominic. The scar wraps round the wounded knee. A thin reminder, easy to forget. The corners cry blood, though harder to see. Through skin, the blade has never met. Chorus, is it enough to say one day a cut appeared with no reason? Could be the 10th of June or the 1st of May. I only know that spring was the season. The mouth opened once to show me the blood. A smile or frown, it hasn't spoken since. A hit on my name, thrown to the wind. Those looking to hate are hard to forgive. Is it enough to say, one day, a cut appeared with no reason? Could be the 10th of June or the 1st of May. I only know that spring was the season. I patched it up, no skin to show, yet the layered mouth remains covered up. It speaks to me from time to time. It asks, why do cuts appear for no reason? So, first off, I've seen some of the other stuff that you've written, but we'll get to that. I think this one's better. I think there's a lot of ambiguity to it. Does C cut supposed to refer to as a cesarean in this case?
It can. That was kind
it's yeah, because I'm kind of curious what this means, because excuse me if I'm a bit ignorant or wrong in here, but Wounded Knee was an incident that happened with Native Americans, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not too sure the details of it. Obviously, we're not taught it that
It
much.
was basically a massacre.
Actually, from what I remember, they're not taught it too much in America either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is it supposed to be kind of like a What is it supposed to be?
So, realistically, I wrote it about a cut that actually appeared on my leg one time.
That
I literally have no idea where it came from.
That's kind of funny.
So the Wounded Knee is literal.
Yes, but in a larger sense, you know, I'm very, of course, aware of like that connotation and everything.
Yeah.
So, in a larger sense, it's there's some ambiguity, I think, about domestic violence, about kind of like the burying of like previous massacres or previous incidents, and for the sake of like, let's just forget it. Let's just move on. Let's just cover it up and pretend it never happened. It's still there, but like, let's ignore it.
Yeah.
I think with that context, I think there's a bit more that you could probably do with the lyrics to show that that's what that means. But if that is what you're going for, I think you are starting to because now that I know the context and seeing that, I think you are on the right path to showing that for the lyrics here.
I will say, for my writing process, I really just start simple, like, oh yeah, there was a cut on my leg that I just remember have no idea how it happened. And then I kind of just, things just kind of like appear, right? And so these kind of lines just start happening, and it's like, okay, well, this means also this then, and this means also this, so let's just kind of let it be, let's just let it sit. It can mean these things too.
Yeah. So I think it should be fair that whoever says the lyrics, or actually states them out loud, can be the one to choose the next appear if we run out.
Sure.
Figure that out later.
Right.
Tricks, I'm going to make you read my Untitled, which is all the way up.
Okay.
Anyone have any other questions about mine?
I might ask some later if I feel I need to, but
Sure.
I think I get what you're going for.
I need to think for a second.
Sure.
Okay. Untitled. In mid-2007, I bought a pen at the school book fair. The pen lit up when you clicked the end of it. I was happy. The same day, the teacher took the pen away from me. I cannot remember why. All I remember is that I was no longer happy. I had a breakdown in the middle of class. I spent the next hour under my desk for no reason other than to complain. When the class got dismissed, the teacher kept me behind. She wanted to lecture me about something, but all I wanted was the pen back. I was willing to hurt her for it, and I showed it. I saw fear in her eyes, but at the time I felt proud. I must have been too young to grasp the reality of it all. I hardly remember that pen. I don't even hate myself for what I did. I just feel sad about it.
Thank you.
No problem.
Interesting. I can see the La Dispute, and I still think about Black Country New Road with your lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, first off, any questions before I go into what this is about?
I feel...
You don't remember anything about the pen?
I know it was a bit wobbly. That's about it. I think it was green. It lit up at the end of it. That's really all I can remember about the pen.
All right.
I can't remember what color the ink was.
I mean, is this about like learning social norms?
So I'll talk about this. So I was in fourth grade in 2007.
Right.
So this there was an actual school book fair. This is a true story. All the lyrics that I've written, that are a bit more in the personal way or kind of like that are true. And there was an incident, and I had a lot of trouble specifically in primary school, with teachers. I had ADHD, so obviously I only could pay as much attention as I fucking did, and fucking kid, I'm a fucking ADHD is kind of like autism. You pretty much got an autistic kid in the class. What do you think's gonna happen here?
Yeah.
And it's what ended up happening was that she kept me back after class, and I had a tennis ball in my pocket, and we had the complaint about the pen, all that, and then we had some other fights. So she took my bag, and I wanted the bag back because she was saying like, no, I'm going to give this to your mum at the PNC meeting, because my mum went to those meetings, and I was like desperately, because I didn't want to get in trouble at home or anything like that. I was desperately trying to grab the bag back, but the teacher was stronger than me in this case. So I grabbed the ball and I pretended I did this fake peg at her. And when I remember that, she was scared. And why wouldn't you be? I'm threatening to hurt her.
Yeah.
And I remember afterwards, when I was a kid, I didn't really quite grasp what I'd actually just done there. And that's what this song's kind of just like about. It's kind of a bit about regret here, about talking about stuff that you regret. But it's like also learning that you've evolved since then. Or like here, I've evolved since then. Like I now know that what I've done is wrong, and I'm having this self-awareness that what I've just done here is really wrong. And it's about kind of being too young to actually understand kind of here.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what this is about, and it's kind of just sad, to be honest. There's nothing really light about this, and I don't think there's anything light about the moment, because it's weird when you're in primary school. If you've just done a part where you've got a bit of power over a teacher, it's like holy fuck, I feel invincible now. But now you just look about it and go, I really just scared a fragile old lady, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a song fragment in a way. I feel like this could be a part of something bigger.
I do think most of these songs are unfinished that I have here, but yeah, I do agree. This probably is the least complete out of all the stuff that I'm submitting here. I did have a fifth song that is even more incomplete than this, but I think that one turned into a full fucking saga. So,
Sure.
Chicks, you get to pick somebody to do one of your songs.
You know what, Domino, you're gonna read the one I just posted.
Ah, yes, Skeleton Queen by
Yes.
Trix. Sat on her throne, gilded and ornate, nary flesh yet bone, rules the world that she creates. A crown of bone, a sword of stone, a realm of thorn, a land she scorned. The Skeleton Queen. The Skeleton Queen. A graceful stroll as she surveys a kingdom foretold to crash from the waves. Her silken robe, her silver globe, her severed lobe. She's an autophobe. The Skeleton Queen. The Skeleton Queen. A brazen mob assembled before her. Her flesh they robbed in attempt to deter. Her shaky hand, her fears grand. A woman damned, her home a wasteland. The Skeleton Queen. The Skeleton Queen. A broken castle, tapestries torn. The fall of an axe birthed the Queen of Scorn. Her eyes afire, her broken lyre. Her situation dire. An infernal choir. The Skeleton Queen. The Skeleton Queen.
When you choose the bard in your D&D campaign.
Crumbling castle.
I just want to point out before is this supposed to be metaphorical at all, Trex?
Yes, actually, it's I started writing this kind of about my like relationship with gender identity, and it kind of just evolved to the character of the Skeleton Queen.
Interesting.
Are you going to come out as skeletal?
Well, if I'm going to be honest, fairly recently I realized that I'm more agender, and that I
Fair enough.
don't really have a gender, and so like I relate pretty heavily to skeletons, and so like that's why like I was representing myself online as a skeleton up until fairly recently.
Yeah.
So this is supposed to be biographical,
Sort of.
I don't know what the type of word is, but we know it.
Yeah. So I have a different question.
Yes.
Is this doom metal?
No, it is not.
It sounds like a doom metal song.
It is. I'm planning on recording it like very acoustic folk.
Okay, interesting.
Here I was, thought it was going to be hyperpop. I got a board, it's on the start of round four, and then she's good. It's got to do great. It's got to do great.
I should put out a hyperpop album.
It's all the rage, or is it now the rage, or is it the rage that's passing? Is it the tide that's ebbing or flowing?
I don't care. I think it would just be hilarious if I did a hyperpop album. Put
Yeah,
out a
it would be.
hyperpop album.
Dominic, you want to post another song and then get someone to read it?
Sure.
If we're done with this one, obviously.
Let's see.
I'm looking at this, and it definitely reads like a D&D campaign. So inspiring some of this. It seems like something that's like kind of like a singing as being strolled throughout a forest kind of thing. That's
Yeah,
just how this reads. I don't think that's a bad thing, but I think it does hinder this from being a bit more, as personal as it seems to want to be about. I think there's a bit more they can done. Like the brazen mob assembled before her flesh they robbed and attempted her. Is kind of like I don't really know what the fuck you about that.
Sure.
I mean, know what you mean by that.
For me, I get too hung up on how much it rhymes.
Sorry.
Yeah, that is a little there, but I don't care that much.
I was having fun with rhymes.
That's
Like
fine.
a lot of them feel fine, but some of them do feel all right. You're
Feel a
really
little
trying
forced,
now.
yeah. Sorry.
That I'm just very sensitive to that stuff because I think rhymes are very overdone, not really paid attention to the right way. People really force them for the sake of poetry.
I was just having a lot of fun with that one.
Let me just format this real quick. This one I tried to do more in the vein of like a pop punk origami angel-esque, I guess, style.
All right.
Am I speaking it or is Trix speaking it?
Let's do Tricks this time.
Okay.
Let me just post it. Well, how the fuck do I? Where is the thing?
I'm gonna prepare my next song while you pull that up.
Yeah, fair enough. This is why I already posted all mine. I got up time.
Oh, there we go. It just didn't want to format properly now.
That's fine. We'd still read.
I gotta copy it from whatchamacallit.
There we go.
All right. Anxious 4th. I lost all my friends. I put them in the garbage. I know I should feel sorry, but it's hard to feel sorry when you're overworked and overstressed, down and so depressed, and anxious and anxious and anxious and anxious and anxious. I've gotten so damn anxious that I can't decompress. I give all my excuses. I know they know the truth. I'm acting like an asshole, but there's nothing I can do because I'm down and out and so depressed, overtired and overstressed, and anxious and anxious and anxious, anxious. Have you gotten so damn anxious that you're out of sins to confess? And when they don't call me, I always know I deserve it. I kind of want to quit this job, but it's really hard to quit this job when I'm underpaid.
I think there's a little bit of a mess in the writing. Dominic, I get where you're going with this, and I think you have some concept. I feel like you at points wanted to more kind of personify a relationship with this with the job to make it seem a little bit more getting fucked over personally, which I think could have been a great thing to talk about. It's actually a concept I've wanted to properly explore myself in a lyric, but I'm still kind of wondering how I would get there.
Sure.
I think your concept is very not gonna lie.
I feel like it could flow better with the music, but just as spoken word, I don't think it would work very well.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. Is like, you know, does it work better as a chorus? Does it work better in a style? Or yeah.
And you could be right. I'm just trying to go. Maybe anxious part actually works better. Yeah, I mean I've repeated some lyrics as well, so I know that. But I feel like it's just very, very simplified. And that have you gotten so damn anxious you're out of sins to confess? It just feels a little worse.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a line that I was struggling with for sure.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to be mean with my criticism.
No, I mean, that's fair.
I do see the origami angel vibe that you're going for here on that.
Yeah.
But I feel like Origami Angel is also a lot more positive, so I feel like you just you've taken it but gone a little bit more negative on here.
Yeah.
And a bit more scared on here, and I guess that kind of works when your whole thing is that you're anxious. But I feel like there are a little bit more different vibes that you could take this in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more just I always like exploring my anxieties in writing, so it's just different ways of trying to express it.
That's fair, and I think you still do have a concept that's working on, and don't give up on this song. But I think it needs a bit more.
That's fair. Yeah, and it's Origami Angel's more positive. I guess I was just trying to take the way that stuff is written, try to be as simple as I can.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with direct.
Yeah.
But
I
don't confuse simple and directness as the same.
No, yeah. All right, who's next?
It will be.
I picked
picking.
the next, and it's going to be Ritz reading my song about my abusive ex
Yes.
that I have not updated since you guys saw it. So it's exactly the same.
Have you given it a name, or should I give it a name?
Fearsome Dragon.
I'm just a fearsome dragon. Yeah. Thank you. I cracked the drapes as I go to bed, muted my phone as I lay restless. Who am I and what do I know? Entering nightmares of her who was feckless. Woke up to 30 messages missed. Still my nerves and send a text. I just woke up, sorry for not responding. Since dating her, I haven't had a decent day's rest. I've lost myself in the fog. What day is it anymore? I've been with you a year too long. I'm scared of what lies before. I want to just quickly before it that I've been with you a year too long is so far the best lyric out of this whole song so far.
Thank you.
You've fret inside before, the cheating and lies for too long. I hate the sex, I feel like an object. You've rushed headlong. My brain was but clay to you. You should pass, but not mine. You took advantage of the loose screws. I was the best and had lost the time. Gaslighting, cheatings, and lie, these were the tools of her trade. I found loss in a bottle to protect myself from the future laid. I couldn't see my friends, claimed to be lonely, until the end. Shotgun matrimony. Locked me in a prison of my mind, a wicked cell of her design. Dangled the keys in front of me, laughed and never let me free. Who am I and what do I know? I'm not sure what's real. An evening to the shore, because I know the emotions to feel. A princess and a wicked dragon, a metaphor as old as time, but the dragon never feigned love and claimed to stay until the end. Alright, so I'm just gonna put out some quick thoughts before we with the questions here.
Yeah.
I think you actually I think the better lines in here are lines that you don't realize that I don't think your shotgun matrimony line works as well as you think it does.
Damn, I really like that one.
But I've been with you a year too long, which has this self-awareness and reflection line to it, but it goes to show that you're kind of just stuck in this kind of way. I think it leaves that a bit of like, you know what it is, but doesn't fully describe it as of it. And the other line, which I think is actually really good, is that evening drive to the shore because I know the emotions to feel.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, it's like this, you want to feel the emotions, but you can't do it here kind of way. I think that line's really good. I think you have some, again, like with Dominic, I think you have some really great concepts into here. I think you have some lines where you're a little bit too metaphorical, or I hate to say the word pretentious, which you think are the better lines on here. But the better lines are here that seem just more honest.
Yeah,
and just
I get it.
Really reflective of where you are.
I get it.
That's where I think this song needs to change. It doesn't need to be so. Like, you can talk if you're gonna be talking about like this dragon or anything like it. There's not enough metaphor or vivid imagery for it to matter. That I feel like having those lines, it's like the locked me in the prison of my mind and wicked soul of her design. I get where you're going for, but the honesty just works so much better with it.
Gotcha.
My issue with this, I think it's good. Like I said, you have the idea here. I think you could probably cut this down by a few verses.
You are probably right.
I kind of like my thing with rhymes. I also tend to get a little lazy-eyed whenever I see concepts kind of referenced whole cloth that are just like very, very typical, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, oh yes, Lost in the Fog. Prisoner of my
Feel
mind.
nothing, jump into the fog.
You and I think I said this last time. You talk about gaslighting, cheating, and lies and all that, but like that's the stuff I want to hear about. That's a very generic, overbroad statement. I feel like where
Okay, yeah.
I think this song works better in the moments that you captured that are very genuine and specific.
I want to jump onto that as well. Like, this is obviously a song where you really kind of want to talk about what hurt.
Yeah.
But you're just not talking about what hurt, and that's what you need to talk about.
Gotcha, yeah.
Yeah, you're trying to busy it with metaphors and trying to make us understand and relate to it, but you don't need us to bridge that to us. Just tell us directly.
Fair enough. I am the daughter of an English teacher, so I feel like I have to employ some metaphor,
I like the princess and dragon part. I think there's a self-awareness to the metaphors all this time part that makes that work better. But
fair enough.
That awareness is not always there.
Gotcha.
Like, I think expanding more on like hating the sex, feeling like an object, even that stuff is more,
Yeah.
That's a more confessional thing versus like, I've lost myself in the fog.
Fair enough.
Like, you're not literally lost in the fog. You're lost in like a brain fog or like the fog of memories or something like that.
Well, I was trying to convey like the fog of the gaslighting and not being sure what the truth is.
Apologies, that's
Yeah, I guess that is more what I'm interested in hearing than like you can bring fog into it, but like fog can be like a starting of a line versus like the ending of a line, I guess.
Gotcha.
Like a fog of blah 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 blah. It's kind of like using that as a jumping off point to describe the way in which these things make you feel versus like that is the thing we're focusing on. But it's always easier to critique other people's stuff than your own.
So we'll move on here because we need to move on at some point.
Yeah.
Trix, I'm going to make you read grocery shopping.
Okay, one sec.
That's the third. That's the third one. We'll get to the second and fourth later.
Okay. Grocery shopping. Let me just pause my picks game. One, found in the nature fields, dead in a butter box, starting to realize that everything's getting fucked. Since in playgrounds, orphan homes, silence in playgrounds, orphans in homes, no one can help them when they're on their own. She was 18 when she had to go get an abortion. Meanwhile, everyone is screaming about how much of a fucking whore she is. Your fucking teacher wouldn't teach you about contraception, but had the fucking gall to criticize a termination. Per the Lord's way of full-on abstination is just an easy to avoid the fucking conversation.
Easy way, I forgot to put that in, by the way.
Yeah. Another politician comes out supporting capital punishment, then claims to be pro-life, fall within the same fucking sentence. I don't want to hear another fucking poly claim about how their firm is sacred and all their children had the right to live when they gave themselves the money to support. Here until 1981, you could rape your wife legally. If she carried it, she couldn't abort it until 2019. Just so you know, this isn't fucking ancient history. Another one, found in the nature fields, dead in a box, starting to realize that everyone's getting fucked. Children were perfect in orphan homes, no to save them when they're all alone. Fuck,
that was
dude.
Great. Trix, you are cutting in and out a bit.
Oh shit.
Most of that came in on my side.
Yes.
Do you need me to reread anything?
No, I think that should.
I think if everyone's okay with it, I might just put the lyrics on the screen.
Yeah.
That might be easier.
Yeah.
All right. So who wants to do the first question before I go into what's about?
I think I got the idea of this song.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's another one that feels a bit unfinished, but other than that, I think you have a strong concept. Clearly, it's a song about abortion and everything, and you're kind of going more into what people are saying. Is this a hardcore song?
Yes.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
This is the La Dispute song. La Dispute song.
Probably the closest to it. So, first off, have you two looked into the story of the Butterbox babies?
No.
No.
This is what kind of gave me the inspiration to it, and it was in Canada, back when abortion was even more stricter and you couldn't get it. Unwed mothers preyed in by the it was, what was it, Perfect Maternity Home or something. Something. Let me quickly get what the maternity home was called. Ideal Maternity Home, and which the nuns and stuff there were pretty much going like, hey, your baby have a chance here. We will take him in this orphan. And it seemed like the unwed mother would go, okay, well, we can give my baby a life. I can't train, and everything should be okay. But reality was they were selling the kids that they considered pretty to rich people. They were trafficking fucking children. The ones that they thought were unsellable, they killed and stuffed in the butter box and buried it.
Jesus Christ.
It's a really
Jesus.
really fuck. And this was stuff that was because abortion was illegal. They had people to prey on and get and do this. And that's kind of what this is about. Like we're all about reversing it, and it's like, well, it wasn't so long ago that it was reversed, and we had all this shit happen, and we're going on about, I'll put on lines in there about, fucking. I had a teacher who just did not want to fucking talk about contraception. And he was pretty fucking religious, and it's kind of just like, how can you actually do this? Like, how can you be? I get there are people who aren't in favor of abortion, but I still have people, those same people, at least be a lot more in favor of safe sex, even if they're still a little wrong on that. At least their minds are in the right place.
Yeah.
But here there are some people who just genuinely believe, and these aren't the people in power. These are just people who just genuinely believe that we should just not teach contraception, not teach abortion, and that everything is just the fault of these people. Like, she was 18 and she had to go and get an abortion. I'm not going to say who it's about. It's not about a person I directly know, but I do fucking know someone that was in there. And you just have all these. It's like that stuff goes public. These people will just fucking just like, no. They wouldn't ever have people go and say, oh, that was a shame. And it's just like, it must have been, difficult or anything. Not to say that abortion is traumatic or anything. It's just, it's usually actually the pregnancy that's more traumatic and stuff. But if an 18-year-old goes and get an abortion, what's the most common thing that people think? Is it just like, oh, what happened? Or, oh my god, she's such a fucking whore?
The second one.
Yeah, that's what usually gets fucking bought. But I don't know what fucking happened with it. I don't know the exact cases of how it led to it. Were they just a bunch of idiots? Was it, what else happened fucking on there? I don't know. And that's kind of what the concept I'm bringing on this is. It's like, we're just having all these go at it, but reality is, it's just so much worse when we don't have all this. And it's like, I mean, put it this way, even if she is just a fucking whore, I don't fucking care.
Yeah. It doesn't matter what the reason or circumstance is, that they should get the abortion if they want it. Like, that should be the end of it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. This world's fucked with people giving people choices.
God, yeah.
Anyway, that's grocery shopping. It's called grocery shopping because Butterbox is usually the box that you
you
can get groceries.
I think that's a great title for it.
All right.
I think it's my turn.
I just read that one, so
yeah. Chicks chooses who.
I want you to read the one I just posted, Domino. This one is unfinished. I will admit that. There's stuff I want to do with it. I just kind of let my mind wander and think about magic while I was writing this.
That's usually what I do. That's usually helpful.
That's very good.
All right. No title. We'll just call it magic for now.
Yeah,
I've lost myself.
like ancient magic or something.
Ancient magic. All right. I've lost myself in the forest, determined to search deep, the secrets of the trees. That's the treasure for me. Whispered secrets of trees, messages hidden in grass, dreams from mushroom spores, secrets humans have come to pass. There's lost magic in the forest. This is the chorus. A secret world beneath our feet, entombed in mossy stone, a world lost to our kind. Magic old and powerful, a secret I'm determined to find. Meadows with fairy circles, bogs with will-o'-the-wisp, deserts Deserts with ancient cacti, cold new air, fresh and crisp. The secrets lie there, buried by moss and vines, hidden in caves unseen by man. Ancient secrets I'm sure to find. There's lost magic in the forest, a secret world beneath our feet, entombed in mossy stone, a world lost to our kind. Magic old and powerful, a secret I'm determined to find. The trees whisper their secrets of warriors, ancient and fierce, druids of vast and archaic power. A mysterious veil we pierce. Mushrooms of red and white, a wonderland to which they invite, a cake to young Alice labeled Eat Me, a locked door with absent key. Amantia muscaria, the dreamer, massive toadstools full of rainwater. They say that dreamers often lie, especially those of the agaric fly.
So, first question, I'm going to... Is this kind of about being lost in your own mind here that you're trying to do as a metaphor, or what is it?
I was just kind of just thinking about old ancient magics when writing about it.
So it's no meaning behind this. It's kind of just
not
like,
really. It's just a word salad.
Yeah, that's fine. It's probably one of those ones that works better when you have some visual root or the tripping balls.
Yeah.
Are the last two verses meant to be kind of like separated because they're just kind of there and not really part of the rest of it?
Yeah, that was something I was kind of like just tweaking out about. Because I liked I had the idea about the mushrooms, and I am like I can work with that, and because like the whole thing with like Alice in Wonderland was the based off of those fly agaric mushrooms, or the Amanita muscaria, and they're like a poisonous but psychedelic mushroom.
Gotcha.
Can I use it in my risotto?
Yes, but you need to process them the right way, and if you process them the right way, you will trip fucking balls.
Damn.
Hell yeah. I don't like Alice in Wonderland. It's always my downfall, but other than that,
Yeah.
I think the same issues with your other lyrics crop up in here, in which I feel like it's still not quite sure how direct it wants to be or how metaphorical it want to be. But I do think this one at least has some imagery that's better. The last pass, maybe you don't need to say massive toadstools full of rainwater if you're already talking about the mushroom, but
yeah, that was just kind of a filler line.
Yeah, but I think again this is probably surprisingly the most complete. So originally isn't too much I would change about it, but I feel like you're on the right path. Just need that little bit more to go and that little bit more coherent.
Yeah,
exactly
that one I need to spend more time on for sure.
This one does feel more complete. Yeah, it feels a bit more focused and centered, ironically, despite being kind of you just kind of going off on a tangent in a way.
Yeah.
But in a good way. Like, I feel like you're not trying to fit everything into this like you're trying to fit into the one about your ex.
Yeah.
Which I think, that's kind of due to subject matter, that's kind of due to where your mindset is, but I think this is kind of just bringing up a lot of different ideas about magic and fairies and cacti and everything, but that is kind of the whole vibe of the song, so I think it works better here.
Yeah.
Like, is the treasure the mushrooms, I guess?
No, the treasure is just like the lost magics that we kind of have like ignored as a society, Because I feel like there is like something ancient and powerful, like actually we're missing as humans.
What if the magic was the mushrooms?
Wouldn't surprise me.
So Dominic, which song and who's singing it?
So I posted it. It's the one before this last one, mushrooms. Ritz, if you'd like to read it, please. It's not too long.
The inevitability of water. And there's some by my table, so you're not wrong. Ebbing at the edge of time, never kept in memory. It plants a garden of doubt where anything can grow, but nothing will live. Kept at bay by reason, a reason with no definition. It flits from person to person, drawing different lines, erasing others. A butterfly with new colors for everyone. No stopping the tide from rising, a different level every day. It runs its own logic. The only way to stop it is to accept the inevitability of water. Swollen and draught, but never quite gone. They say evaporation is impossible, unachievable. It is a constant in your universe. There is only one way to stop it. A singular way that's not worth discussing. Alright, I'm going to take the guess by the based off of this, blah, blah, blah. Is there supposed to be references to climate change here?
No.
I don't know what the
I actually do not remember what this is written about.
fuck. with some of these lines that you have at the end here, a singular weight is not worth discussing, and stuff like that. It sounds like you take having a dig politicians for not going at climate change, and I think that's a good fucking line.
Actually, that's more of a reference to suicide, but yeah, that works too.
Wow. Oh, man. That's completely different what my guess was here.
Damn.
I remember that. Well, go ahead.
I was gonna say, you have some better concepts that you don't realize that you have. To be honest.
That's fair.
I don't say you have to fucking continue on, but say if this was about climate change, I mean, no stopping the tide from rising at different level every day. Sounds kind of like, yeah, the water levels keep rising because the ice caps are melting kind of shit.
Yeah.
I think I meant this one to be more metaphorical, but I don't remember what for.
I think you need to go back to your past self and ask what the fuck was I on about, and then because this still does have some inconsistency issues with it. But if you figure out exactly what you're trying to do with this, you can fix those little parts in here, and it will be great. Actually, I think this is despite the kind of weirdness of it, I think this is the best one so far of the stuff that you put out here.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. Yeah, if I had maybe I know I wrote this when I was playing Chrono Cross, so maybe that had something to do with it, but I really have no idea.
Huh.
Beyond that, yeah, thank you. Any questions? I'll be on that.
No, I've pretty much got where I wanted to be on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Dominic, I am gonna make you read the next one. I'm just thinking, which one do I go with? Yeah, someone has to read it out. Dominic, you're going with Penno.
Penno. All right. She's 15 with ambitions, just succumbing to her condition. The kids at school that out to play with their mums just passed away. The memories they've cherished got taken with her deep in the forest. It's just an ordinary day. This is the chorus. So tell your mom that you've missed her before your dad shoots you and your sister. You've shortened life is out of your control. Found him in the reservoir, only one to survive thus far. Addicted to the ecstasy, yesterday she turned 13. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, they chose the murder-suicide. These are the prime years of your life. So tell your mom that you've missed her before your dad shoots you and your sister. Your shortened life is out of your control. There's flowers on the Esplanade. Esplanade. The father's life got taken fast. Everything still stays the same. Break. Is there another chorus?
Nah. It's just this.
Would you shut out your own brother if he told you that he was just a lover? Too many problems gone left unsaid. We only seem to care when they get punched out in the head. I hate that every death just adds up in amount. If this were a girl, you'd finally shame her body count. So tell your dad that you love him and get fucked up on countertop cough syrup. This ain't no life for a suburban hole. What?
So, pretty much everything on here that I've written is something that's happened in Penno, which is where I grew up. The Penno, Wesley, Thornley area, blah blah blah. So this is a hometown song, and I'm going to go through every part of this before any more questions are asked, because you will get the context of this, and I know there's a little bit more work that can be done with this song.
Yes.
But I'm actually pretty happy where this is at, just knowing where this is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's 15 with ambitions, just succumbed to her condition. That was a girl who went to Pennant Hills High School who died of
cancer. You said, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You cut out there.
This whole song, by the way, not based off one person or anything like that, like in the La Dispute. This is this kind of whole generalized talking about. We have a lot of these issues, and not some of them are all solvable and stuff like that. But we have a lot of problems with death and stuff that we're just currently just ignoring. Yeah? It's kind of like we're just pretending, like we recognize and we're sad about all this, but we're just trying to act like there's no fucking problem.
Yeah.
And it kind of feels surreal. Like the kids at school let out to play when their moms just passed away. Their memories to cherish got taken with her in the forest. Some mother just had enough or something. I don't know exactly what it is, but she ran away, and the next time we found her, she wasn't responding. She was in the forest. She ran in there in that. So tell your mom that you've missed her before your dad shoots you and your sister. Honestly, I think this is the best fucking lyric I've written. And the reason for this... Hold on. the reason for this is there is a story that happened really fucking close to where our house in West Penno was, where 2 kids got kidnapped by their father, who had somehow passed a background check which allowed him to get a gun. He took those 2 kids and he shot both of them and then himself, and the mother was left alive, and she didn't get to say a single fucking word to either of her kids. My mum actually knew who the mother was. I can't say knows because unfortunately that same mother has taken her life since.
Mhm.
Oh.
And it is a really fucking dark moment that just happened in which we did nothing. Like in the state, it did nothing to prevent what happened there when this was a preventable death. Straight up, the father had failed a background check and should have failed it, and he was still given a gun.
Mm.
And we just allowed that to happen, kind of thing, in the state, and we just didn't talk about it. And I'll go back into one of the lines as well to reference that. Found him in a reservoir, only one to survive this far. That was a kid, I don't know exactly what's happened to him, who wanted to commit suicide. He actually tried doing it by jumping off a roof at school. Ended up making the news when he ran away into the forest. And people didn't know if we would ever see him again. Actually got found in the reservoir. He was stuck under a tree and some his
Same family?
Different family.
Got it.
They actually found him stuck, and they got a helicopter rescue on him.
Huh.
Addicted to the ecstasy. Yesterday she turned 13. Any lyrics like this, I won't talk specifically who it is about. I do know that the person that I am referencing has thankfully gotten clean since.
Good.
One of the rarities. But yes, that's exactly as literal as you'd think. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. There were 2 people in Thornley who had they had a lot of issues. Like it seemed kind of like one of those didn't want to live anymore, and they made a deal with each other to commit a murder-suicide. And that's one of the few shootings that's happened there. And most of these people, by the way, the murder-suicide and the mum passing away, those are the 2 old. Everyone else here is pretty fucking young. I mean, yeah, the father's life got taken fast. The father's flowers on the Esplanade. There was on the way over to the high school. There was an accident with a guy's father. He was on the way to parent-teacher night and got hit by a truck on an intersection that intersection. It's been prone for accidents ever since, and he got hit by a truck.
Wow.
He didn't fucking come back. Now, the big bridge where I go into all kind of like this, it's supposed to be this kind of breakdown and just trying to like process that this is happening. Would you shut out your own brother if he told you that he was just a lover? This is actually a reference to how pretty much anti-gay a lot of West Penno can get, specifically the church. My brother did go to that church, actually. He's not gay, but he went to it, and they came out against gay marriage during the whole debate. And my brother was pretty much like, no, I support gay marriage, so there's no reason not to. And they just completely started shutting him out and excommunicating from this kind of shit. They're just kind of just like, well, we don't want the fucking gay lovers here.
That's funny.
So we care about that shit. We only seem to care when they get punched out in the head. There was a person who went to the school that after he graduated, unfortunately, he got king hit. Carrot punch is now how we called it, but back then it was called king hit. Hit the ground, didn't come back up. And that happened in the city, and the state had a pretty hefty response to it, in which they said, okay, well, now alcohol can't be sold after a certain time in parts of the city. Which, by the way, was the wrong response, because it actually just did not address any of this. It just fucked over a lot of businesses.
Yeah.
But that is the only time out of all of this shit that we ever had a fucking response. And so it's kind of like, we have this last line. I'm not sure how I feel about if this was a girl you'd finally shame her body count, but I do think we do some of that kind of issues around there. But it's kind of like, we have all these deaths, and we're just not talking about it. Like, this is near traumatic to just be growing up in an area where we're having a lot of these deaths that just shouldn't. Yes, maybe the cancer one's a bit like, what can you actually do about it? But it's like, realistically, we should be doing a lot more. And this is a pretty wealthy area as well. But we're just like ignoring and pretending that this isn't existing. So it's kind of like that last line So tell your dad that you love him and get fucked up on countertop cough syrup. That's actually based on the story of some people I went to school with where there's not really much else to do and you're kind of just pretending everything's okay. And they're just getting high with their friends.
Yeah.
Kind of, that's what they do. So they got fucked up on cough syrup one day. And they just telling us about the experience of it. And it was kind of funny actually because they talked about when they came down, they remembered that life existed because Hungry Jack's Burger King over there existed, and then they realized they had parents. That was how they fucking came back down to Earth.
That's hilarious.
And yeah, so that's what the song is. It's actually kind of probably the most personal out of all this, but it's not just kind of done of actually having a breakdown, but it's kind of like, why are we not addressing it?
It seems the most complete.
Yeah.
I would probably change the body count line though. That's just me.
Yeah, I'm still 50-50 on it. So
I
probably
50-50 on that too.
I think the bridge works. I can imagine the bridge in like a hardcore Jordan style thing.
This has actually probably been one of the bridge 2. Yeah, I think would be a more hardcore, but the rest of it would actually be pretty soft alternative in my head.
Interesting. Okay.
Like the chorus is supposed to kind of go, to tell your mom that you missed her before your dad shoots you and your sister. That's kind of how it's always going in my head. That's how it would flow.
That is weirdly happy sounding.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of the whole point, I guess. It's kind of just like ignoring it, but kind of like not. I don't know. That's probably a pretentious way of saying it, but that's kind of where I'm at on that one.
Yeah, I get it.
So, any other questions? Any other comments? Say no.
I think
kind
you
of went
answered them
through
all.
it line by line by kind of just talking about them. Yeah, you kind of answered everything I would have to ask.
Fair enough. Dominic, since you read it,
all right,
your turn.
Tricks, you're reading the long one.
Oh boy, one sec.
It's all the way back up the top. And just to preface, this is my attempt to kind of do something different than everything else. So take that for what you will.
Tardes.
Wait, which one is this?
It starts with Down at the Coliseum.
Oh yeah, it's called Mayday Graduation.
I gotta scroll way up. Hold up.
Yeah, it's under all my stuff.
Yeah.
I've only got one more, by the way. Putting in for reference.
Okay, one second. Sorry, I'm taking
one thing I forgot to mention as well. The reason why it's Penno is slang, not just for Pennant Hills, but also for the school.
Okay.
So it is a bit more like an inside comment, but yeah.
Gotcha.
Mayday Graduation. Down at the Coliseum in resplendent glory, it's a day of celebration, a day of joy. Academy graduates lined up, mock weapons in hand. It's exhibition they seek, celebration they crave, on this graduation day. The audience fills seats, allegiances in hand. Underground combatants wait in barracks of sand. Everyone has a favorite, someone they expect to see, especially match 3, Bernard versus Perry Lee. On this graduation day, one-on-one matches. Everyone cheers. The first match unfolds. Everyone cheers. Sweated swords and guttural grunts. Everyone cheers. It's over in seconds. Everyone cheers. As the second match starts, Perry waits for his opponent. A boy all of 12, blonde-headed Byrne. A prodigy, said by many, though others have their doubts. For how can a boy that young know what 17's about? They forgot he's only 12. The thing to keep in mind through all these exhibitions, they're a show, a play, a joy for the citizens. The weapons are all fake, yet no one checks still. What's to stop a boy like Perry or Byrne to go in for the kill? They forgot he's only 12. The second match ends, everyone cheers. An appearance by Byrne, everyone cheers. The two take the stage and everyone cheers. The third match begins, everyone cheers. The audience goes for silence, though obviously still enthused. Perry grabs a sword held tight to his waist, his cape concealing all the look on his face. Except for Byrne, who sinks in anticipation. Break. Byrne goes to strike first, his fists do the talking, a boyish yell from his throat, a punch to the face. Falling to the side, Perry dives back in place. He withdraws from his waist a fully loaded pistol. Bang! Silence. He thought it'd be that easy. Oh yes, he really did. He'll go down like he's nothing, and besides, he's just a kid. But what Perry didn't realize, what he didn't think about, was that he'd missed that Byrne might move somehow. Now the fight truly begins. A shadow across sand, Byrne makes himself stout. A headbutt to the chest launched through to the heart. A fight became a slugfest before it could even start. With no will to help, there's only total immersion. Now the fight truly begins. But how long can a fight really last when one guy's good with his fists and the other's down on his ass? Not long, not long. But there's only one question left. Can Byrne pull the trigger, or is this where the prodigy ends? There's blood in the air. Everyone cheers. The victory's decisive. Everyone cheers. The audience rushes the stage. Everyone cheers. Byrne's held up high. Everyone cheers.
So, before you saying anything, if you had to guess what style I was going for.
This is gonna sound really weird, but it sounds kind of like Shel Silverstein.
What is that? I did not listen to Shel Silverstein really.
The Where the Sidewalk Ends guy.
Okay.
But he also wrote songs.
It definitely seems very folky near countryside, to be honest.
Yes, I was thinking like Phoebe Bridgers, very whispered, like spoken, like kind of like not like a campfire, but she's speaking very gently, kind of laying the scene.
Kind of like smoke, kind of like the song "Smoke Signals." If you heard that one,
maybe, yeah. So
yeah,
it's kind of very close and intimate, and she's kind of laying the story out for you.
Yeah,
there's definitely a lot of like repetitiveness in here, which is obviously intentional, which is trying to bring a point, which I don't think it actually brings up anything new by being said, despite obviously choruses kind of sometimes working like that. I think you got a story that just needs a little bit more, like, and it feels like the story is being written as it's written instead of it being written before you've actually put pen to paper here.
Which is funny because I've had this scene in mind for a very long time.
I know, but it kind of reads like it didn't really have a plan from the start, and kind of everything just happens as it happens. Mm-hmm. But I feel like if you revisit this, knowing how the story goes and stuff, and you just make use of that, not to spoil the story, but to make the story more kind of coherent and leave some ambiguity to make the twists more better, it'll end up as a better song.
Yeah. I wasn't really sure what to do for a chorus other than something as repetitive as it is. Meant to, I guess, be like a commentary on like crowds and how mindless they can be and how they kind of ignore everything and for the sake of blood and glory.
Yeah.
And they cheer for everything.
Fair. I get that.
But it could also just be repetitive. It really depends on how it would be portrayed in the song, but
So this needs to go on the podcast. My girlfriend's made a really good pasta here.
Hell yeah.
Prosciutto, salmon and cream, really good.
All right.
All right.
I've got one more. How much has everyone else got?
I have some more. I have one whole song and a couple fragments.
We're only going to do the full song. Putting that out there.
I have a couple more. I don't think they're as good, but we can try them.
I have a shitty love song I want Ritz to read.
Yeah, do we want to do one full one each? Because I've only got one full left. Then Dominic, we could do one more of yours and then one more of Tricks. Wrap it up. Tricks, I'll do yours.
Okay, I actually have like two I want to share.
I can share two. I only really have two left.
All right, but
I'm happy to do both at once if you want. Or do you want them separately?
Just separately. This is a really mediocre love song. I wrote it in like 10 or 15 minutes when I was really high one time. And just keep that in mind. And this is kind of like maybe a slower, like clean electric guitar, kind of like a Real Estate vibe.
Yep. Cool. So that's the Laying in the Summer Sun one?
Yeah, you don't have to read it 4 times. Just say the X4.
Nah, fuck you. Laying in the summer sun, laying in the summer sun, laying in the summer sun, laying in the summer sun. I can't think of anything better than a summer day, but it comes close when you look my way. The fire's immaculate and it's almost sunset, and we're sprawled out, lying face up in the grass. Laying in the summer sun, laying in the summer sun, laying in the summer sun. Laying in the summer sun, your rosy cheeks are bright, you smile that you're fine, and cried conversation will chat the entire night. A warm and quiet breeze, a gentle honk of geese, the crackle of your cigarettes, the glint of your stained teeth. Laying in the summer sun, 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 The suns began to set the world, turned to gold, and it's with you I realized my desire to grow old. You sang a naive melody, and I tuned the strings together. We will perform a song of our harmony. Laying in the summer sun, laying in the summer sun, laying in the summer sun, laying in the summer sun. When I'm with you, the world is no longer harshly colored in shades of blue and helplessness. In shades of blue and loneliness. When I'm with you, the world sings in four-part harmony. We can sing in different keys, but we'll still be in harmony. Laying in the summer sun, laying in the summer sun, laying in the summer sun, laying in the summer sun. Oh, laying in the summer sun, laying in the summer sun, laying in the summer sun, laying in the summer sun.
Hell yeah.
I wasn't expecting that animated a performance.
I don't know. That was pretty good.
Yeah, just a kind of shitty love song.
I can't believe I got the whole way through that.
Yeah.
I think some of the lines made you stumble for sure, and I think
Yeah.
there's some work that can be done in making some of the lines flow better.
Yeah. And he was also performing it, like, way too fast.
Yeah.
I
Because
don't know.
fuck you.
I think
Oh,
it
God,
kind of
thumbs
works
up.
faster. I don't know. I think it's a nice contrast to everything else you've done so far.
I think it's a nice contrast to everything else we've done.
Yeah. The sun just came up, guys.
Perfect. It's almost summer. Ritz summoned the sun.
Yeah.
Oh my
Here
god.
comes the sun. Da, da, da. Hey, did you know Paul McCartney was in a band after the Beatles?
Yeah, he did the Paul and Linda little Paul and
Oh,
Linda
yeah,
song. They're pretty
yeah.
fucking good.
Yeah.
Not as good as Wings, but better than the Beatles.
So I don't really have much to say about this because it's very direct, but I also think that's where it makes this one at least a bit more. Yeah, it's nice. I got no complaints about this. I think
Yeah.
I think that in Shades of Blue and Helplessness and Shades of Blue and Loneliness is a little nice actually, kind of with the sound of like it's no longer harshly colored part, but it's kind of like it didn't need to be gone so chase in there, but maybe it's a bit better with
Yeah,
how you
well,
wanted the sound.
there's two references to songs and albums.
I will get to that in a bit, but you know what I like most about it? This
Well,
is the most coherent one that you have, and we talked about when you've wanted to write stuff that's like honest or just talking about a situation. Like this is actually very vivid in times. Like
Yeah.
I know some of them aren't as great of a line as it could be. Like your rosy cheeks are bright, your smile electrifying. At least I'm still getting a like. I think it's a bit kind of like, oh look, I need to use some visual imagery and stuff in my song and stuff. But you are getting that through in here.
Yeah.
The actual best one is the crackle of your cigarettes, the glint of your stained teeth here. You are
Yeah.
actually describing a situation here very coherently, and this is what I want to see more in your writing. This is your
All right.
this is your best one by far.
Thank you.
You call it a shitty love song, but I think like the 15-minute thing is a really good exercise that allows you to be more honest and direct and just truthful.
Yeah.
And I think that really works for you. And is it going to work every time? Not necessarily, but it's a situation that I think works for this.
Yeah.
Like,
And
it's not much to complain.
yeah, and I think there's a lot I have to tweak about this, but like the crackle of your cigarettes, I was kind of proud of. And,
All right, so
there is two references to other
Helplessness
songs.
Blues.
Yep. And I threw in a reference to the greatest love song ever written.
Stairway to Heaven?
this
Nope.
must be a place.
Yeah, Naive Melody.
Yeah.
subtitle.
Yes. Fair enough.
But yeah.
Got to move along as well here because we do need to continue. And Trix, obviously, I wanted to go 2 and 2 in here, and we'll pick your next one here, and we'll figure out how we go with Dominic afterwards.
Okay.
You are going to be doing my last one here. Mama didn't raise no critter.
All right, me.
Yep.
Good luck.
Okay, one sec. Let me scroll up to it.
Hour 4, by the way.
Yeah.
The
We're never
sun
doing
is
this
up
again.
here. Mama didn't raise no quitter. 10th grade modern history. He's fucked up on LSD. Check in at 23. he's moved up to PCP. He's gonna dream of the things he didn't have, like a one-way ticket to rehab. Living on the edge off a pension check, he'll spend it all on dirty cigarettes. Praying that he's not doomed to overdose in a public bathroom. Meanwhile, his parents hope nobody else knows he's on dope. I can't seem to make any sense of this. All he wants to do is kick this shit. He wants to discuss all this with his parents, but they just start to cry and say, "We're so embarrassed." Scars on his arm that he shows to his friends. It's clear to everyone that he's using again. Stuck in a cycle of his own drug habits, all he wants now is the story to end. This ain't the life that he deserves, to get shunned by your parents and kicked to the curb. Criticize the life you don't know. Where the fuck do you get the nerve? You let him fall on through, right to the wayside. You let him fall on through, right to the wayside. You let him fall on through, right to the wayside. You let him fall on through, right to the wayside.
So what genre did you intend this to be?
So it's kind of going back into that alternative, a bit more punkish. Like, the bridge in the kind of like the start of the verses is supposed to go like da 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 da, and then it goes like kind of like softer, kind of like the remaining parts, and that bridge is supposed to be kind of like very soft on that. And then that outro is actually this image, like the original line I've always had in my head when I've had this kind of like thought of doing an album or something like that, was kind of like, it was always in this like shitty breakup kind of way of going like, you left me at the wayside kind of way I was doing it, based on the Birds of Tokyo lyric actually. But I when I was writing this, I was kind of like, that moment really just works the best at the end of here, because the frustration that I have at the main subject's kind of family in this case, that's what this is directed at, is kind of just going like, well, this is actually where this is where I feel that kind of frustration. It's like, how could the fuck you do that? And that's like, you let him fall on through right to the wayside, is just kind of like, you let him fucking get here because of how you're acting, and you pretty much abandon him. That's what you let him fall on through right to the wayside is supposed to mean. And I don't have anything else other to say to my frustrations than that. That's why it's repeated. I don't like repeating as much as you've seen. This is like the only one that gets repeated right after itself, and that's because I got nothing else I can say.
So I got the opposite vibe from the beginning. I was very specifically thinking a Bread song. Like the way that song, the vocal start, is how I was picturing this. But I think that is a different way of looking at it that I have to reprocess at some point. But this one also seems very personal to you.
I'm not going full in depth.
No, I'm not asking to.
On that,
yeah.
But I do want your honest thoughts at how this is written.
Very well.
Like I said, I was thinking of Black Country New Road. I don't think it's necessarily as verbose and like well written as that. I think the specific lines about can't seem to make any sense of this to we're so embarrassed, I think is a bit incongruous with the rest of it.
Maybe. I none of these songs, by the way, are full finished. That other.
Yeah.
Like, how do I say this? It's not an exact comparison, I guess. But I was reminded of like when we did Skeletubbies, and back then, you know, Lucas was kind of doing songs kind of like this, you know, about like, I had a shitty week, you know, my friend's doing this, you know, this person's using drugs, this person's doing this, and it's all terrible and it's falling apart and all of that. You're communicating with this specific verse, you're communicating wants and desires that are obvious, I guess, but are not really, kind of like with Tricks, you're not describing the actual thing, you're not describing the specific way in which this is happening. You're just like, oh yes, he wants to kick this shit, he just wants to discuss it with his parents, and they start to cry and say we're so embarrassed. That it just feels general in a way that you generally are not.
I see where you're coming from, and if I do go back to this, maybe I'll put a bit more in depth or change how it is just to make it a little less kind of like I guess inconsistent. I don't think it's incoherent.
Not incoherent, but like, you're very specifically like 10th grade modern history is fucked up on LSD. Like, great start. A lot of that's very specific. You know, pension checks, dirty cigarettes.
Yeah. If you don't know what a dirty cigarette is, by the way, search that up.
What?
A dirty cigarette. It's an actual term.
I didn't know that.
Okay, so it's what a dirty cigarette is. It's a regular cigarette laced with heroin.
Oh,
Ah,
gotcha.
yeah, I didn't know that.
I didn't either, but that makes sense considering the song. But
Yeah.
yeah, I guess the beginning is very serious and very straightforward, and then I just don't want you to get too caught up in making it a bit more, I don't know what the word is, just like nicer.
Yeah, I'll put it up. I'm not trying to make it nicer, but I see what you're getting at that.
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole kind of, this is just kind of, I'm putting in what my not a defense here, but just kind of like how I interpreted it. Kind of like the first one's kind of like showing like there's addiction problems, and then the second one's coming like we already know how bad it kind of is. It's kind of like there's this hope to get better and kind of thing, and with it though it comes not a situation in which it's when there's actually this reach out to get better. Instead, comes out just a absolute blaming of the individual and attacking. But it's
Mm-hmm.
I think yeah, I probably can say it in a better way. I will admit, but that's also why I had that line of criticize the life you don't know kind of thing. It's like, well, we don't need to know how the addiction started here because that's not
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that can go for the parents as well. Like that being addressed in that verse about like they don't want to hear it, they just want to do this because they don't understand it.
Mm.
And then that gets then talked about later.
I get what you.
Yeah.
I get
I don't know. I don't mean to be so specific in my criticism. I just think that part of it.
That's fine. I want you to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I think you are looking at what you want to do well, and you're pretty far in it. It's just smoothing it out.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're going for visceral necessarily, but it can very easily become that.
I definitely did have a lot more. I think my lyrics are probably the most direct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But there was an intentional for that because I mean the first song maybe not needed so much, but like the rest has kind of all been just like I feel like they're just important topics that you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway, those are all the songs that I have written.
Okay.
All right. I have like most of a song or like two verses of a song, and there's more I wanted to add to it, and I also have like a chorus that I'm kind of proud of. So I'm posting both of those.
I have a song ready. And then I have one more I think after that to post.
And
I'll point out if you
technically
choose me, by the way.
Technically two, but
if either of you, I only want to do finished ones because we do have to wrap up.
Mm-hmm.
But if either of you do pick me to say the lyrics, even though I've run out, I will just pass it on to the other.
Okay. I'm gonna post my two. The first one's about a stalker from the perspective of a stalker, and I went full unhinged on it, and it's not good. I'll admit that. And the other one is just kind of a fun little quatrain about like homophobia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fair enough.
And Domino, why don't you read?
Sure. Fragment 1. I remember what you said. I remember where you were, or where you were wearing
what
last
you were
week.
wearing
what
last
you were
week.
wearing last
Sorry.
week. I know that your favorite color is red. I've lost track of the times I've watched you sleep. Where do you think your lost socks went, or when your missing forks are, or where your missing forks are? I know the content of the last text you sent. Wherever you go, you don't know I'm not far. So it's a tough one.
Yeah, that was very clunky. I apologize.
Of course. I'm a ghost. I exist in the corners of your mind. I'm a specter. I know where you are all the time. I'm a phantom. Of what I've stolen, I built a shrine. I know the route you take home from work. I catalog all your social media posts. I sow the seeds to your last breakup. Your ex was a jerk. I've kept you safe from any other ghosts. I know the medicines you take. Adderall, Zyrtec, and Wellbutrin times 2. I know how much money you make. I know that you always wanted to work at the zoo. I'm a ghost. I exist in the corners of your mind. I'm a specter. I know where you are all the time. I'm a phantom. Of what I've stole, I built a shrine.
Every breath you take.
Why are you Oh. So why are you mad when two men kiss or a trans person just exists? Your hateful beliefs you force and shove. I don't get it. It's just love. So, first, this is all one song.
It's not, but
It is.
okay.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I don't know how I can get that to work, but okay.
The second fragment is already better than the first fragment. Just
I know.
the first fragment is a mess, but it is going in very kind of like similar vein. You can kind of start to feel it.
Yes, I think it's a song idea in which the stalker is like into the person and like has this whole part where they talk about it, and then they also then go into like the bad parts of this person, and they're trying to like reconcile and kind of wrestle with like, okay, why are you mad about this? Why are you being hateful about this? You know, kind of like coming to terms with their own stalking behavior and how that affects them, and maybe this person isn't the best to stalk.
Okay.
I think you could really make this one song.
I don't know if I want to though. That's the thing.
That's fair enough.
I don't really have much more to say about this, but there's something more to say about this. I don't really think the concept's going too well. I don't really think I think you can leave this one abandoned. To be
Yeah.
frank.
I probably was.
I think there's something there, but it just needs to take a different direction once this first fragment's done. Like,
Yeah. It was just me writing for some sake of writing something at that case.
Yeah, that's fair.
all right, my turn then. So I have the one above it called Line Fall. This is meant to be more of a quirky indie song.
All right.
I don't know. Think more like Spark Alaska or something of that nature, but not necessarily that.
Okay.
Who's doing it? Who's doing it?
Ritz, why don't you do it?
Yeah, line fall, baby. Yeah, baby. All right, I'm just taking a quick look at the first verse and deciding how I do this one. I could do the classic. I don't have to base it on the line stretch your horizons. I'm gonna avoid the harmonica now because it's going to piss off fucking everybody, and I'm just gonna do this. Your lies stretch to your horizons, bending everything but your lies into a shape I do not recognize, and abstract instead of a person. Every shade's been spilled out, the single pen strokes untangle. They spread the sky like constellation, but they're shifting, impossible to map out. Eventually they will settle, and then I can begin to map again. The chart will be an unexplained new, and an unexplored you. No lies, in a fresh perspective. Is the map worth remaking again? Charting the lines, marking the strokes.
Charting the lines, sorry.
Am I meant to take this on? I could just as easily not, and let someone else explore you for the first time. Yet, an explorer's journey unfinished. It's a legacy I can't leave behind. It would be awful convenient and for my own good. But who else would call your lies lies? Will you call them the truth? Maybe what I'll do is this. Sit in the forest during the day and wait, and when you're ready to fall back to the ground, we can go through your lines, one by one, assembling the shapes so it makes sense. And it's you again! Thank you.
That was possibly the way I imagined that going the least.
I'm so good at that, fucking hell.
Oh
I
my
forgot.
God.
I forgot what I just said.
This is supposed to be an indie twee song.
Oh my god. Oh.
I think the part that Dominic hates the most is that I kind of made that work.
Yeah.
You made it like
there was flow issues, but I kind of made it work.
30%. You made it work.
Yeah, that's more than I expected.
So let's talk about it.
So this seems to be kind of comparing. I think you're trying to talk about entering into a relationship here is kind of what you're doing it, but it also seems to be kind of like, is this supposed to be kind of like going into a relationship and exploring a new person, but then once you kind of learn, you're not quite sure if you really want to continue.
This is this is more of being in the relationship and realizing that there's a lot to work with here that needs to be worked on. Am I the right person to do this? Am I the right person to reset everything and fix all these problems, or is it just worth somebody else's time, not mine?
I don't think this is a I don't think this is your best, but I think the concept's still going well.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all I can say. I think like a lot of us, this is one that just needs a little bit more time. Obviously, you need to fix the typos. But
typo.
I like where you're going. I do like where you're going.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else to say about it. Has everyone actually done all the songs, or do I have to pick one again?
I technically have two. Just someone pick one or two. I think. Do you want the first one I wrote for this, or the other one?
Well, how big are they? Because I think we need to kind of start wrapping up and ranking these. We've been going for over 4 hours here. Is there anything really? Do either of you, with the stuff that you got remaining, think that any of the stuff that you put out is better? We can compare this later.
We can stop with this.
No,
we can stop with this.
I have put out all of my stuff.
Cool. I think we can call it happy here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think the only way that we can do these rankings here is by having everybody put out their own rankings in this DM here.
Oh God.
As in a 3-2-1, because we cannot we cannot compare it into here. You are not allowed to rank your own songs.
Okay.
So I am going to start, and number 3, I am going to put as Linefall from Dominic.
Oh.
Number 2,
Yeah.
I am going to then put as another Dominic one, the inevitability. I can't pronounce that word.
Inevitability?
Yeah. And then number 1 is Lying in the Summer Sun.
Shit. The one I was like the most like
I think
about.
I don't really have that actual much bad to say about it. That's the thing. I think of all these, I think it's the most honest and the most coherent, such consistent. Dominic, before you enter it, obviously you going to say what you're typing.
I'm just making sure I remember which one is which from yours.
Yep.
Give me just one moment.
Chicks, do you have yours ready?
I'm still going.
I'm almost ready.
Turn.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So, number 3, I'm going to put as "Laying in the Summer Sun" by Trix. Number 2, I will put as "Untitled" by Ritz. And number 1, I'll put as "Grocery Shopping" by Ritz.
Yeah, that's I'm not surprised at the reactions on that. I didn't think Untitled would be the one that you loved out of the remaining 3, but here we are.
All right. Ready for mine?
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, Dominic's Anxious Fourth. Number 2, Ritz's Untitled. And number 1, Mayday Graduation by Domino.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you unliked Untitled the most out of mine.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
You said "Untitled" for Ritz?
Yeah.
I do like that one quite a bit.
Yeah.
Trix, do you want to just post that in the DM as well? Because we will be
yeah.
comparing these next week with a special guest who's also going to.
So yeah, we have to talk about that part now.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's been 100 episodes.
How the fuck do you spell Coliseum?
Just call it Mayday Graduation.
Oh, it is Graduation, not Mayday Coliseum.
Correct.
Yeah.
Sorry. We've been going for 4.5 hours.
Yeah, Ash, we're wrapping up now. We will be less than 5 minutes.
All right.
Nick woke up.
We are wrapping up. Not finished. Wrapping up. No, we are wrapping up right now. So we'll be done by 8:30.
Oh my god.
All right.
4.5 hours. Holy fuck.
All right. So moving on. This is episode 99. Episode 100. We have a special guest for episode 100.
Yes.
The man who founded this whole podcast, technically, the man who's responsible for everything. One Mr. Peter Minimi.
Yes.
The one who is going to absolutely kill me if we do 4.5 hours of recording.
which we will not do.
Yeah, we will not do.
We've had this planned for a hot minute.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about what we've chosen.
Yep, I'll go first because I picked an album that I know that Mini-Me himself actually enjoys, and I'm finally picking up the man, the myth, the legend, Kieran J. Callanan and his album Bravado.
Okay.
I don't know how long ago I decided to pick this, but in my mind, this has been it for a long time. This whole episode is going to be about the Max Payne 3 soundtrack by Health, who did pretty much the entirety of that soundtrack.
Yep.
And Mini-Me himself has chosen to bring us back to the Distillers and do their album Sing Sing Death House.
And I was going to abstain, but Ritz is making me pick 100 Gex as 1,000 Gex.
You know you wanted to do it eventually, though.
Yeah, you are right.
Oh god, we are doing 1,000 Gex. Okay.
Gek.
This goes all the way back to Ritz's fucking...
What the
fuck is a
Gek?
Gek? This is how long we've been waiting for this.
Oh my god.
I've been Dominic.
100 Gex, baby.
100 Gex for 100 episodes.
I'm fucking tired.
God.
No abstention this time.
I'm gonna fucking not plug my shit because if you still want to listen to me after the 4.5 hours, there's something wrong with you.
I'm Dominic. You can catch me online on Twitter at DACICHOCKI. This is going to be a hell of a mess to edit.
Oh my god.
I have a YouTube channel. It's just my name, Dominic Chikoki. There's not really much on there. My short film beats there. I write some stuff. You might see some links in the description for some video game things I write. Yes. Have a good night. Thank you. You two can talk now about it.
I'm done. Good night.
I've been Trix. Catch me on Twitter. Procrastinating astronaut. Then underscore at the end of it. Whatever the fuck I say normally. We've been going for 4.5 hours, and it's 6:30 in the morning, and the sun is up. Fucking goddamn it!
Everything else will be in the description below. If this is one or two parts, we will see. Other than that, I hope you have a great day, great night, great afternoon, great morning, great evening.
This is Dissonant Waves.
Oh, that was a loud giggle.
I think he just did the Devin Townsend album again.